and that takes quite a while. And so we are not going to change our schedule. We're not going to close tomorrow. We're going to close on Monday. And so with that, remember, you will be sequestered. We have some of your questions, and we're going to try and answer as many of those as we can. I think the one thing that you need to know today as you leave is, how much do I pack? If I were you, I would plan for long and hope for short. Basically, it's up to the jury how long you deliberate, how long you need to come to a unanimous decision on any count. And so because that's entirely up to you, whether it's an hour or a week, it's entirely within your province. So that's how I would do it if I were you. We'll also give you some information probably Monday as you retire as to other questions that don't require your immediate attention. And we will also be probably giving you some hints as far as technology. We will be operating under the rules that are currently in place regarding audio and video evidence. And that is specifically that you will be provided with a laptop computer that has all the audio and video, in fact, pretty much all the exhibits in this case, on the computer, and with a large monitor to play them. You will not have to come back into the courtroom each time you want to look at the audio or video, which is the old rules, which involves a lot of back and forth. We're not going to do that. We're just going to give you that computer with the arrangements so that you can view it as you deem appropriate as part of your deliberations. So with that, I wish you a good long weekend, and we will see you Monday morning. We will convene at 9 a.m. for closing arguments and final instructions. Thank you so much. All rise for the jury.
And there you have it. Judge Calhill has basically dismissed the jury and has sequestered them for the weekend. So everything is done for this week. The defense has rested on their witnesses and their cases. So they will continue with closing arguments on Monday per the judge. And so they will be given the laptop that they will be able to review all photo and video evidence. So as of, well, hold on a second.
In chambers, is that correct, from the state?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Nelson. Okay, Mr. Chauvin, you have the right to be present at all phases of the trial. That would actually include the charge conference. But basically, you'd be watching the lawyers and I wordsmithing the instructions, and I think you already have a copy. You want to be present for that, or are you willing to waive your presence?
I can waive it, Your
All
Honor.
right. We'd probably put any discussions on the record just to memorialize what we've decided, and you're willing for us to do that without you present, is that correct?
That's right.
Any requests that have already been made by the attorneys as far as proposed instructions, that constitutes a motion for me to give those instructions to the jury. So there's no need for your lawyer to object to anything, because if I don't give anything your lawyer says, that's essentially denying the motion for that proposed instruction. The same thing is true for the state. Any of their proposed instructions memorialize their request. There is no need for an additional motion objecting to whatever I decide is the final instructions. So with that, also, we have all been talking about the appropriate way to deal with questions from the jury. Occasionally, jury questions will arise. I think our preference is that we not move the jury around if we can avoid it, and also that we not have people coming and going from the government center, since you will not be required to stay here at the government center while the deliberation is occurring. Accordingly, our plan is that we do any questions by Zoom. If you recall earlier, when I brought back several of the jurors who had been selected to talk about the possible effect that Minneapolis city settlement had, that's how we would do jury questions. In other words, they would be able to see us, we would be able to see them. And when I say we, I mean the parties, yourself. But the jury, because they're anonymous, would not be broadcast to the outside world. And that would be our plan for how to answer questions. Any questions that come to me from the jury, the first step is to talk to all the lawyers, get their input on how I should answer it. Very often it is rereading certain instructions, but in any case, I will talk to all the lawyers, and after talking with them, formulate what my answers are going to be. That will be on the record, but it will be by Zoom. Are you fine with that arrangement, since you don't have to be here We would want you to be part of the Zoom, so you've got to be subject to getting in front of a computer, basically. Are you fine with that? All right. Anything else as far as before we go into the charge conference?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Then we are off the record until Monday at 9 a.m. Thank you.
All right, and there you have it. Everything will be back into streaming on Monday. As sees most of your comments already, is that you do believe that Derek Chauvin is guilty. So the jury will be sequestered and they'll be given evidence to look over so that they can go through their deliberation period. It's been a long process for us OWers, and so I know some of you guys have anxiety. So since that is the case, we will not be streaming the trial until Monday, as jury will be beginning their deliberation after closing arguments by both the state and the defense for Monday. So thank you guys so much, and we look forward to seeing you soon.